The air feels unusually still, doesn't it? A quiet expectancy hangs, especially noticeable to those born under Aquarius. The waxing crescent moon, delicate and new, graces the dawn of this period, mirroring a nascent project or a hope just beginning to sprout within your heart. It's a time for quiet reflection, for sketching out the blueprint of something you desire before the clamor of action begins. Venus, a warm presence nearby, softens the typically independent Aquarius nature, encouraging connections and a renewed appreciation for beauty not just in aesthetics, but in everyday interactions. Pay attention to a small kindness received. It will be a precursor to something more significant. The first few days unfold gently. You might find yourself drawn to conversations, particularly with someone who challenges your conventional thinking. It's not a disagreement intended to divide, but a gentle sparking of ideas that nudges you toward a fresh perspective. This influence, powered by Venus, makes compromise easier. A task you're working on, perhaps related to a creative pursuit or a community initiative, receives unexpected encouragement. It won't be a sudden, resounding success, but a subtle shift in circumstances that opens a small door. Don't dismiss it as insignificant. It's a sign that your efforts are seen and valued, even if the recognition isn't grand. As the week progresses, you're likely to feel a gentle pull towards your community. It's not a sense of obligation, but an intuitive knowing that your unique talents and vision can make a tangible difference. A small gesture you offer, a helping hand, a listening ear, resonates far more deeply than you realize. Be mindful of the energy you exert, though. The presence of Uranus opposing your sign indicates a need for balance. Avoid overextending yourself. It's important to recognize the need for personal downtime and quiet moments of introspection, so your inner spark can flourish. Mid-period finds you confronting a subtle internal conflict. You pride yourself on your objectivity and your ability to see all sides of an issue, and that's a valuable strength. But this period calls for more than just intellectual understanding. You must allow yourself to feel. A decision lingers not because of its complexity, but because it requires a vulnerability that feels uncomfortable. It involves trusting your intuition, even when logic suggests otherwise. Don't fight this feeling, embrace it. The answer isn't in the data, it's in the quiet whisper of your heart. The energy around you noticeably shifts as the waxing crescent morphs into a more mature lunar phase. This aligns with Pluto's presence, a force that demands a deeper excavation. It could surface a long-forgotten skill, a buried passion, or a piece of your history you're ready to confront. This isn't about dwelling on the past, it's about integrating it into your present, turning old wounds into sources of strength and wisdom. It's a surprisingly grounding experience, helping you appreciate how far you've traveled. Pay close attention to your communication, especially with close friends or family. There may be a slight misunderstanding or misinterpretation that arises. This isn't born of malice, but of differing perspectives and anxieties. Approach the situation with compassion and a willingness to truly listen without judgment. The softening influence of Venus continues to be a gentle hand, urging understanding. Don't let a minor disagreement derail a connection that holds value. Towards the closing days, a feeling of restlessness may stir. You're naturally drawn to change and innovation, and this influence from Uranus will intensify that urge. However, ensure this impulse is channeled constructively. Instead of abruptly changing course, look for small, incremental shifts that align with your long-term goals. A conversation with someone unexpected reveals a new possibility, a side project, a different approach to a current responsibility that sparks your curiosity. As the period draws to a close, look around. You will notice subtle improvements in your life. A sense of greater clarity has settled within. Perhaps a small creative endeavor is gaining traction. Maybe a relationship is deepening. These are the quiet victories that truly matter. Remember that the stillness at the beginning, nurtured by the waxing crescent, allowed you to plant seeds. Now the gentle sunshine of Venus, the challenges brought by Uranus, and the grounding force of Pluto have all contributed to their quiet, steady growth. You have prepared, you have adapted, and you are ready for what comes next.